Kimi, I don't know if you're aware of the stat, but every time Yannick wins a tournament on the Sunday, you win the race as well. So you're matching each other at the moment. But a fantastic outlap from you today as well really helped you keep that place ahead of Lando. Is that ultimately where it came from today, or what do you put the win down to?
Yeah, I mean, it was the key. That undercut, the outlap was very strong, and also I think the team picked the right moment to do so, because I came out that I had no traffic and I was able to push cleanly, so that allowed me to then make the move at the end. And so yeah, very happy with that.
Are you surprising yourself at the moment with how you're driving, how you're staying so calm and controlled? So not off-putting at all. How you're staying so calm and controlled in all these situations, because the start today wasn't great again, but you got over it, you got back through the field and you controlled the race.
Yeah, it was definitely, you know, I feel stronger and stronger every time, more in control of the situation. I still think that sometime, you know, I could remain a bit more calm. I was a bit stressed when I had a couple of downshift issue and upshift, and I was very stressed, and I should have just stayed a bit more calm. But overall, you know, was a strong race, and I'm happy with that we brought it home.
Huge congratulations, well done. Literally just reading your race, George, in my notes right now, because do you think there are any opportunities that you missed today? Did you get some damage from the contact, and was there anything left out there? I know you made up places at the end. Was there anything left out there, do you feel?
No, just difficult race. The beginning felt okay, to be honest. Those early laps, sort of in the fight, and then the hard tyre was just nowhere, and got some ideas, to be honest. The last 10 laps were much more competitive. Made some quite big changes with my differentials and my brake bias, much closer to what Kimi's been running this whole weekend, and it made a bigger impact than I thought. But still, as I said, not a good weekend. I know this place is always a real tough one for me, so the real test will come in the next few.
Montreal is a better racetrack for you historically. Yeah. I know there are updates coming as well, but what sort of challenge do you feel you've got from your teammate right now then? Because when you look at the race today, that was very calm and controlled from someone so young, and I think maybe people have underestimated him before now. Have you underestimated him?
No, not at all. I mean, he's a fantastic driver, and he's been exceptionally quick since day one. You know, you don't win all of the championships as a youngster if you don't have the speed, but you know, I've still got the confidence in myself, and I've also been there. I've not forgotten how to drive, and it's just a little bit of a tricky run, but with 4 races down, a long way to go. And I think, as I said, we'll reassess things over these next few weeks.
Listening to those answers, are you surprised? Could you have done that at 18? Were you the same sort of driver in those circumstances?
It's a long time ago now.
It's not that long ago.
It's like 8 years ago. It's crazy. I mean, he's doing a very good job. Hats off to him. At that age, 2nd year in Formula One, he's doing an incredible job. It's impressive to perform under pressure, to be beating his teammate that's been in it for a lot longer. He's doing all the right things, you know, so you can't really fault. He got a lot of shit over the last couple of years, last year, but he's proving a lot of people wrong. So I'm very happy for him. He's a very nice guy, and it's also annoying because I want to beat him, but he's doing a good job, so credit to him.
Could you have beaten him today? I know that stop, if it had been fractionally quicker, that stop, you may have come out in front of him. Do you think that's where it was lost, or what are your thoughts on the race?
We should have boxed first, simple as that. I don't know if my stop being 2 tenths quicker would have helped. In some ways he could have made it worse, because he could have just got a better run all the way around turn 2 and 3 and easily passed me, you know, so. Let's, I think we just have to be honest and say we should have boxed before. We shouldn't have been waiting. He was quite a bit quicker at that point of the race. I told the team that I didn't quite have the pace comparing to him at that point, and we didn't really seem to do a lot about it. So yeah, we have to go review things. Honestly, I think the win was, we could have fought for it more. I don't know if he still would have had better pace. His pace was better than us today, so I don't know if he still would have come out behind me, and maybe he still would have overtaken me, but we could have done more. We need to review some things and just see what we could have done better.
Hi Oscar, how are you doing? Were there points in that race today where if you'd realised you were going to be on the podium at the end, you wouldn't have believed me?
Probably, yeah. It was a pretty tough race, clearly. Yeah, that's not how to take the last corner.
Liam and Pierre. You had
Yeah, I mean, it was a tough race for sure. I think a bit of a messy first few laps, and then the strategy had my doubts, but turns out it was the right call to go long like that, and the pace was good, which was the biggest thing. So it was good to see. I think it was a bit of a pleasant surprise that we were so good, to be honest with you. But I'll definitely take it.
Do you think you had the quickest car this weekend as a team?
I think today, Kimi was very quick. I think it was kind of just whoever had track position. I think for myself, I was lacking a little bit compared to Lando the whole weekend, and I need to try and find out why that was. But I think we were very close. But at the moment, with these rules, it's all about who gets as close as they can to optimizing what they have. We didn't really do that in qualifying yesterday. I think we did a much better job of that in the race.
You said incredibly close. Sorry, surprisingly close, or what you expected?
I think closer than we thought. I think I certainly expected Kimi to just kind of run away with it if he got in the lead. So the fact that Lando was able to stay so close was really encouraging. And for me, obviously, I had a fair bit more to do in terms of overtaking and stuff. But the pace seemed pretty good, so happy with that.
Thanks. Max, that was eventful. Let's talk about the first lap and whether you think actually the win might have been there for you today had things gone your way a bit more.
I lost the rear into turn 2 and then tried to minimize the time loss with the 360. And then we opted to go early onto the hard tire, but that hard tire didn't work for us, so I had no real pace and grip on that compound for whatever reason. So it was tough. I don't think we would have fought for the win at all. I mean, we dropped quite heavily. Maybe I could have been in that place where I think Oscar was, maybe, if he would have done a bit more of a normal race, but it's always easy to say that afterwards. I think we have improved a lot this weekend. Unfortunately, in the race, we are still lacking a bit.
Laurent Mekies said earlier today that he thinks 3 of the 5 areas that they want to correct on this car have been achieved over the break, with the other 2 to go. So how good could this car be if you can get all 5 areas done? Is this a race-winning car and a championship contending car?
It will be better. I don't know how much it will be better, but for sure there is more pace to unlock. But I guess if you ask that to any team, they will all say the same.
And just finally, can I get a word on you that you're being called to stewards for the exit on the pit lane? What's your view on that?
No idea.
Okay.
So we'll see.
All right, thanks a lot. Hi, Isaac. Just tell us from your point of view what caused it, what happened?
I was too eager and too excited about making those moves, and I just ruined myself. It was easy to overtake and should have been more cautious. There was no point trying to flirt with the limit in this corner, so I'm really
What are you going to work on between now and Montreal, do you think? It's been quite a tough weekend for you. What do you want to work on?
It's the first time I really struggle with my overall pace. So this is new, and I really need to dig deep because I don't want another weekend like this.
Not a good weekend at all. 7th and the 7th, just no man's land on both races, but particularly today with the damage, there's nothing I could do. So really unfortunate because the team worked so hard, so to come away with a few points is we have to move on from here.
How do you see that first lap?
Just contact. I was unlucky with Max that spinning and I had to go to the right of him. I had a good turn 1 and I was in a good position, and then the only way I could go was right, and so then I lost positions from there, and then obviously I think it was Franco that hit me, and I lost a lot of performance from there.
Charles, I don't think anyone can say you weren't trying out there today. I mean, you got a fantastic lead through your start and then lost out in the pit stops, and then that last lap, heartbreak as well. Can you just tell me what was going on and where it went away from you today?
My mistake. I mean, it's all on me, and I don't have much add other than that. Very disappointed with my mistake. It shouldn't happen. I've pushed very hard in the second to last lap. I thought it was a good idea to kind of let Oscar go for him to get for me to get the overtake. I knew it was going to be very difficult to stay in front otherwise, and but yeah, I mean, it was a very poor decisions, and in the space of 4 corners I put a very strong race in the bin, so I'm very frustrated about that. Yeah, not much more to say.
Sadly, you have to go to the stewards as well, because they're saying you left the track too many times gaining an advantage, but also I think they're looking at whether or not you drove the car in an unsafe condition on the last lap. I'm just hearing as well now.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what will be the decision. I guess we'll have to wait and see. The thing I can say is that I did my best to try and make the corners first of all, and yeah, it was probably a lot more difficult than what it looked from outside, but it's like that.
Hey Checo, I appreciate the end result isn't quite what you wanted, but you had some great pace out there. You're P12, I think, at one stage in that early phase. It felt like you were racing.
Yeah, we were racing.
How much progress do you think the team have made this weekend?
I think in terms of pace, not much, but I hope in terms of understanding, we can take this package back to the factory and analyze it and see which direction we need to take on everything to make sure that I feel like we are not too far away to make a couple of clicks here and there, and that will bring us quite a bit of performance, you know, because qualifying was very promising on the sprint event. So we see a bit of flashes at times. We need to work a lot on our degradation because we seem to be degrading harder than other cars.
Great stuff. Thanks, Checo. Hey, Valtteri, obviously difficult afternoon out there, and a race particularly undone by that penalty for the speed in the pit lane. Just talk me through how you're feeling right now.
Yeah.
Obviously, the team brought an upgrade. It feels like it's a little bit of a step. Are you happy with the progress the team are making at the minute?
I mean, we're definitely making progress in some areas, but yeah, pace-wise, we don't have enough. So we need to. We'll keep going. We will keep improving and step by step.
Great stuff. See you at the next one. Thank you. Hey Lance, well obviously you've seen the checkered flag, more laps under the bank. Was there any kind of more enjoyment in driving the car out there today?
No, better soon.
In terms of what those problems were, much more the same, anything new?
Yeah, we have
different?
no downforce, we have no power, so those are the things we need to work on.
Great opening stint, Fernando, to give you some fun at the end of the soft tyre. What's the kind of overriding emotion though at the end of that Grand Prix?
Yeah, to take from Miami.
But what's the focus kind of going ahead to Canada and the races beyond? Do you think it's going to be a bit of a challenge for a while yet?
It will be a challenge. It will feel repetitive, you know, because we will be at the back of the grid, but we will, we have to stick together now with the team and wait for the second part of the year. I think after summer break we will bring more upgrades to the car, and the first part of the season we will not bring any. So yeah, we put all our bet on the second half.
All right, hard luck, Fernando. Thank you. Hey, Gabby, looked like there was some encouraging pace out there. Obviously not quite enough to fight for points today. So what's the overriding emotions?
A bad thing, I think.
What's the kind of overriding emotion after this weekend? Because it does feel like there's been some shoots of progress.
I'm disappointed because I feel like, you know, with all the problems we had since FP1, you know, they were very bad. And if we just had put a clean weekend without any big problems, we would have been able to probably be fighting for the points. But still proud of the team and the work they did to put the car out there yesterday. So we keep pushing.
Hey, Nico, I didn't see what happened to you at the start. Just saw you tumble down to the classification. Just what happened there?
Yeah, had contact with William, unfortunately then.
What's the kind of overall mood after today and the whole weekend? Because it feels like there's been shoots of optimism, but obviously quite a few niggles still, isn't there?
Yeah, no, disappointing weekend for sure. Definitely a character-building weekend for us. You know, there's some positives, but obviously also a lot of areas where we need to, you know, do better and work on and improve. So yeah, you know, we need to keep our head up, keep grinding, keep digging deep. You know, the persistent will be rewarded at the end of the day, and that's what we're going to do.
Hey Liam, obviously hard luck for what just happened out there. Just talk me through that moment with Pierre.
Yeah, it sucks for both of us. Obviously taking out Pierre as well.
And obviously disappointed because up until that point you were having a good race, you were very racy. Points might have been on the table, I guess.
Yeah, we haven't really been quick enough this weekend, and we had a good start. First lap was really, really good, made up a lot of places and was well inside the top 10, and fighting the balance a lot at the start of the race, which was why I was actually defending. so that's quite frustrating, and obviously a mechanical to take us out is disappointing.
Hard luck then. Hey Arid, well, considering how difficult the weekend's been up until this point, how are you feeling about having at least given it a good go today to try and get some points out of it today?
Yeah.
How do you generally kind of reflect on the weekend? Because it's a new track, you obviously didn't really have much or any experience around here, but you still tried to do your best on a sprint weekend, right?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I'm always going to try to do my best no matter what the circumstances are. It hasn't been easy. I mean, it's been, to be honest, another weekend where I've missed crucial mileage, and I've kind of been with my back against the wall. So yeah, I don't know, it is what it is. I'm just going to, obviously today I tried to make the best of the situation. I tried to do that in qualifying yesterday. It's not been easy, but we'll look at what I can do better, what I can learn, take away both positives and sort of the focus points, and move on to Canada.
Great stuff. Esteban, at that early phase of the race, it looked like you might have been kind of in the hunt for points, then it kind of went away. Just talk me through what you're feeling right now.
Yeah, we were going for a good race. Unfortunately, after the pit stop, that wasn't the case anymore, so we need to review exactly. I think it would have been difficult to see what we can do.
What are the kind of biggest lessons you're taking from this weekend overall?
It's a lot of good lessons, I think, for us to take. I think there's a lot of things, from our side that we could have done better. Working with engineers, setup, communications, and I think that will help us to do a better job in the future.
Ollie, you almost got points today. Heck of a drive, but frustration obviously to just miss out at the end. Do you think there was a little bit more?
Now we're going to be a bit stronger.
Yeah, so I was going to say that with upgrades coming, and given that you got the most out of the package that you had here, that's a lot of optimism, isn't it, going forward?
Yeah, because I've also been feeling a lack of confidence in the car all weekend, and it was a bit better in the race, but still very, very hard to drive and easy to do mistakes and tough to be consistent. So it's been a tough weekend, not only for the fact that we didn't bring upgrades, but also the fact that we probably didn't maximize our current package. So, like I said, given all of that, we can be happy and look forward for Canada.
Great stuff.
Congratulations, Toto. Thanks, Karun. Let's start with Kimi. There's a lot to be proud of today, but 3 wins in a row. He's made history there. First person to convert their first 3 pole positions into victory. No one's ever done that before. He's precocious talent, isn't he?
Yeah, I hope he can continue on this positive slope. Most important is not to be carried away. We have a good car. Hopefully the upgrades work next race. But he has a fierce competitor and his teammate also who wasn't happy with the track this weekend. So just important to keep both feet on the ground.
No doubt that he's a rising star with an incredible talent, a lot of speed. Toto, how promising is this, considering you guys didn't bring as many upgrades as everyone this weekend, to still be ahead of the pack with your upgrades still coming? Is this good news?
Well, sometimes upgrades don't correlate with the stopwatch, so we need to prove that out, and I hope we can. This is going to be a development race this season. How much can you bring? Are you limited by the cost cap? All these things play a role.
None of the wins have been easy for Kimi, have they? They've always been a little bit on the back foot at the start. We see him fighting through. He's got that real killer instinct in him. But he also can lead from the front, as we saw in Japan. So there's obviously areas he can still improve, but it's amazing with someone so young, isn't it? To have all of that already.
Yeah, I mean, you know best. I think leading with someone really putting pressure on you from behind, particularly at the beginning of the stints with Norris, and then sustaining this pressure and being able to drive away is really a great character trait that he has among the many, the speed, and now you add to that some more experience. I think we're talking about lots of success in the future.
As Karun pointed out there at the Sky Pad, it was a brilliant outlap, but it was also a very good, very sharp strategic decision on the pit wall today. How proud are you of that? Obviously, McLaren have been at the sharp end for the last couple of years. You've been there in the past, you know that, but there have been different faces that have come in, Toto, and just to get one over on them, which cost McLaren victory today. How proud of you of the team?
Yeah, it was a brilliant move from the strategy team back in Brackley and also here, because we were 1.8, 1.9 second behind Lando, and that's almost, it's quite risky. But then the stop was perfect, the outlet was great. He went for the move right at the beginning, and I think that was, these various parts of the team doing a brilliant job that won the race.
Now, if I can move it on to the other side of the garage, I know it's been a tough weekend for George. It doesn't seem to be a track that suits his driving style. How do you manage this? I know that it's early doors. I know we don't want to be too reactive, but you've had intra-team battles before. What notes have you taken from the past to manage things?
George is so experienced by now, and throughout the weekend we talked that this is a bit of a boogie track for him, and that is absolutely understood. So I think there's nothing going to be in the back of our heads when we go to Montreal.
Kimi was quite vocal on the radio, had a few issues with the car. I wasn't quite happy when he was under pressure. How important is Bono for him, do you think, in the race? To keep him calm, collected, to reassure him of his talent, but also that everything is okay?
There's Amy. You know, Amy runs our trackside reliability. She's never been on the podium, and I got her bang with the champagne in the face. I really enjoyed seeing that. She deserves it.
She did. Just in terms of Italians this weekend, I mean, obviously on Friday.
You know, I didn't respond to his
You didn't answer his question, did he?
I want to big up Bono. Should we big up Bono?
I didn't hear that.
You didn't hear.
Sorry.
Go ahead, Toto. He's back.
Yeah, but you know, Bono has so much experience. He worked with the greats, and therefore he's been with Lewis over so many years, and then part of the Kimi project straight from the beginning. He knows how to handle him, and yeah, he's someone that you know, part of the success so far.
It is 20 points though, and I know you're going to repeatedly tell us, even though we're going to keep annoying you and prodding you all year, has he got an opportunity, has he got an opportunity? It is 20-point gap now over George, and if his confidence keeps expanding like this, it's going to be hard to say, well, it's going to be hard to keep along that track, isn't it?
George is a killer, okay? And what makes him so good is that he never stops fighting and never attacking. And I've seen him throughout the career in junior formulas, karting, junior formulas, and here, you know, he's going for this. He was not gonna leave no stone unturned. I have no doubt that the two of them gonna fight for points throughout the season.
There's also no doubt that he's such a hard worker. Just a quick one from me, Toto. How good does it feel to be seeing your drivers week in, week out, back on the top step of the podium? It's been a little minute.
We're still a bit bruised because we had how much? 60, 80 weekends where that wasn't the case.
Yeah.
In the past. So winning 4 races is just so rewarding for everyone back at home. There's so much stress in the organization, so much pressure. But then at the same time, we showed resilience, you know, kept the mindset in the right place. And that's probably what makes me most proud. Not only what the drivers do, but what we all together, the 2,500 people in Brixworth and in Brackley, have really kept going over those years.
I think Yannick Sinner has just won Madrid as well, so this is continuing. They seem to be winning Kimi Antonelli and Sinner in the tennis.
Don't unlock any more superstition.
Oh no, it's a superstitious thing. And then of course you had Gabriel Mini who won in the F2 today. So a good weekend for Italy. On the weekend though that we lost Alex Zanardi. Just the final word on that. You know, it's you know, we've lost a great man from motorsport this weekend, and the Italians doing him proud.
Yeah, I start with Kimi and Sinner because the other one is much more important to finish up with it. I mean, we just need to be careful that all of Italy is not going to go mad with sports stars now that the football is not playing in the championships.
Exactly, yeah.
But as a matter of fact, here comes the winning car. As a matter of fact, we need to keep him both feet on the ground. That's the most important. And obviously, if the counter is behind you, that's going to be difficult. And on Alex Zanardi is just iconic. You know, I remember him from my junior days, what he's done in Formula One, and then especially in the United States, in IndyCar. I think it was called The Move or The Pass. The Pass in Laguna Seca. You guys should play that for the spectators.
Yeah, they saw that
it's
earlier.
the greatest overtake that I've ever seen in a single-seater, and then his career after the accident. Chapeau. To his achievements. We're just mere mortals, but what he has done in his career is great.
We'll let you go and raise a glass to him, and a glass as well to Kimi. Well done, Toto. Congrats.
Well, everyone. Miami just delivered the race, but the interviews, that's where the real story came out. From a breakthrough win to frustration, damage control, and few surprises across the grid, the drivers didn't hold back. Let's break down what they said after the race. Antonelli, on his statement, he said that starting was starting the race how he did was really astonishing, and it didn't feel like a lucky win for me because I was working really hard throughout all the weekend. He talked about staying patient in the first stint, not pushing too early, not trusting the team's and trusting the team's strategy. He knew that the race would come to him, and it did. What stood out the most, he said the car completely switched on the second stint. That's confidence, that's control. And even after winning, he stayed grounded, focused on consistency and not hype. That's the mindset of future title contender. He drove really good. He kept Lando and the others behind him really good. Second place for Norris, and this one hurts a bit because Norris admitted he felt in control early on. The car was good, the pace was there, everything looked right, but then came the second stint. He pointed directly at tire degradation. No excuses, no blaming the team, just a simple reality. They didn't have the pace when it mattered. He also mentioned that how difficult it was for him to defend without destroying the tires, basically confirming he had to choose between fighting and surviving, and in the end he had to let it go. Piastri on the third place, he had a couple of drivers in front of him to overtake and to come to the third place as he was finished. He was a quieter race, and in his review he reflected that he tried it as controlled, but also admitted he didn't quite have the speed to match the top two. At one point he said that he was stuck in no man's land, too far from Norris, too comfortable behind. But here's the thing, no mistakes, solid points, another podium. He's building something very consistent. Mercedes, on the other hand, George Russell brought home in P4, and his interview was all about damage limitation early, then capitalizing late. He admitted they didn't quite have podium pace, but maximizing P4 show how strong the package is right now. Mercedes didn't just win, they controlled the race weekend thanks to Kimi Antonelli. For Verstappen, now a rare sight. Verstappen finished in P5, and in his view he was frustrated. He pointed at balance issues and lack of grip, especially in the heat. The car just wasn't working the way he wanted. No big drama, just a clear message. Red Bull were not the fastest today, and that is a shift. Ferrari, on the other hand, made a lot of mistakes, especially in the beginning when they had a couple of problems. They initiated a crash, let's say like that, and Leclerc spinned in the first in the starting of the race. Hamilton also, but it was what it was. For Ferrari, it was a mixed story. Charles Leclerc was in P6, said that the pace was almost there but not enough to fight the front. Lewis Hamilton in P7 focused more on race management, saying that they extracted the maximum from what they had. Both drivers sounded realistic, no disappointed but not satisfied either. And also they mentioned that they will go back to the factory and work and see where the car wasn't performing well, and see what's the problem is with that. So they have a lot of work to do, and bring back that Ferrari to the top where it belongs. Big shout out to Franco Colapinto in P8, one of the drivers of the day. He sounded genuinely happy, talking about clean execution, good strategy, and finally putting everything together. Behind him, Carlos Sainz and Alex Albon secured the double point finish. Williams quietly effective, but drivers highlighted teamwork and consistency, no drama, just results. Further down the order, it was a story of Mrs. Chance. Oliver Bierman and Esteban Ocon both mentioned struggle with pace and tire wear. Fernando Alonso sounded frustrated with the car that they have at the moment, saying that the car just didn't have the performance this weekend, and he said that their engineers are working really hard to bring the car back to life. Because in the beginning of this season and in the end of the last season, they were like talking all big that Aston Martin will be the fastest because we have the best designer. We now have Honda and things like that, and now they are fighting with Cadillac that just came in the end of 2025. That's really a shame. Like, I don't know. For Fernando Alonso, it's really shameful for him because he's a world-class driver. I'm not talking about Lance Stroll because he's catastrophic from my point of view, but for Alonso, this is really sad story because he deserves better. And for Sergio Perez, a tough race focused on survival more than anything else. And then we have the drivers who didn't make it. Nico Hülkenberg, Liam Lawson, Pierre Gasly all out of the race. Their interviews were short, frustrated, focused on what went wrong, because weekends like this, you just want to move on. And also we have the big story of Hajar. He was disqualified even before the race started because he has done something in the qualifying that was against the rules of FIA, and he got disqualified even before the race was starting. So what do these interviews tell us is that Antonelli stepping into leadership role at Mercedes, McLaren are fast but not perfect, Red Bull are vulnerable, Ferrari are close but still having problem with their car and still chasing, and the midfield is tighter than ever because the midfield was better to watch for me than the front, because they tend to have a couple of fights in between. I mean, like, attack each other lap by lap, and it was really better for me to watch them than to watch the front row of this race. This season is, as always I say, is wide open. We don't know who's going to be the champion this year because it's all mixed up. Let me know what you think. Is Antonelli now a real title contender, or will McLaren strike back next race? We want to hear your thoughts on every video that we upload to this channel, because your interaction with us is really, really important, and we appreciate when you comment down below on that comment section. You like all our videos and subscribe to our channel, because that helps us bring more content like this. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, and yeah, as always, we'll see you on the next one.